So, mentioned a bit ago on the initial 5 key areas that the secure configuration comes into play, and looking at how we secure down these devices. So, as I mentioned, it's not about saying that all these registry keys must be set at this certain point, or these group policies must absolutely be set to these values. Again, it's about looking at these common top level areas that should absolutely be focused on. And then everything after that is more about the granular depth of control that you go for your risk appetite within your business. Now, in terms of the secure configuration, some of the most insecure aspects of the devices comes down to what's installed on them and how things are accessed. So looking at removing unwanted stuff within your environment is very key. So look at the software. If it's a case of your devices have either come shipped with pre-imaged factory images on the devices and it comes with trials of things, get them off. Absolutely. If it's a case of you had a piece of software that you deployed out a few years ago and then you found a better piece of software, don't leave that old one on the machine. If it's not being used and it's not actively being maintained, which is even more important, it can introduce the vulnerabilities into your environment that you're either not aware of because you're not actually focused on it because no one's using it, or you don't have a system that automatically patches it, or the manufacturer's not supplying the patches. So take it off the system. And that does become important. That one of the main things that you need to be able to show within the Cyber Essentials qualification is that you are only using supported and maintained software. If your favorite application in the world has been deprecated by the manufacturer 10 times over for newer versions, you must start to think about moving away from that. Otherwise, you will not meet the controls that are in place for it. Yes, there's potentially a cost involved in there, relicensing, redeploying, but it has to be done. Similarly, passwords, making sure the users have that good hygiene practice, making sure you have a access management policy that shows the users what they should or shouldn't do, regardless of whether you have something in control that absolutely enforces it, but having that control mechanism that users know that they should abide to, and hopefully backing it up with something that can enforce it. Make sure that the users have a minimum of 8-character passwords, and then hopefully make them complex and unique and stuff as well. You can go again, like anything, to the nth degree, and there's lots of useful tools out there that you can use to help with even more best practices, like not reusing common passwords and stuff. We might discuss a bit of that later. But the password management side, what do you do when you actually think that a password might have leaked? Either taking in reports from end users where they go, oh, Fred was looking over my shoulder the other day and he saw me type in my password. What is your policy for being able to handle that? Is it just simply you have a policy that says, if you're concerned, raise a job with the help desk and we'll get it reset for you? Or do you go to the extent of actually having a breach management notification from one of the various dumps online that will help notify you when somebody's credentials are leaked, and then you can pick that up and proactively go and change it. And again, having them policies in place that both how do you change the when do you change the password, how the password should be set in terms of controls and stuff, but also how do you handle the lockout procedures, how do you notify users that they know where to go, where to look to understand these policies and how they actually work in actuality.